right, here we go, guys. 7:02 a.m. on Sunday, November 15. No charter today. Pretty calm out. I just left the boat. I actually left my camera on the boat after my charter yesterday. No video. Had a great trip. Actually had a great week of chartering. But unfortunately, Blackfish, a lot of where I fish is really, how to describe this, landmarky area. And you know, those of you familiar with spot burn will understand what I'm talking about. But I had 5 charters in a row last week. Can't show any of, I can show one video. We'll get that up, maybe the video after this video. But yeah, can't show the rest because clear, defined landmarks. You do kind of need a trolling motor to get into the primo spots, but I really don't want to expose these spots to the whole world. I know there's a few of us, friends included, who know about them, and last thing we want is to show up early one morning to togfish and there's 10 boats jockeying for position. What I thought we'd do today, though, is excuse me, what I thought we'd do today is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that show American Picking, but you know, we're always looking for that affordable boat. I mean, I'm not, but I think a lot of people are. In this COVID environment, for whatever reason, boats have become really difficult to find. And when you find one, they are super expensive. And don't even get me started on new boats. Those prices are out of control. So we're gonna take a ride. I know when I drive this road, I'm in my local area here in the North Fork of Long Island. It's a seaside town. We're in Greenport right now. We're gonna go 15 miles on this road to Montauk. I periodically see on either side of the road boats for sale. So we're gonna check them out. We're gonna see if there's a phone number on them, call the owner, see how much they're asking. And it's sort of like that show, like I said, American Pickers, but we're picking for boats. Let's see what we can find. And we'll, if there's a deal to be had and somebody's in the market for a boat, we'll include all the details in the video. Phone number to call, if I can get the price when I call, what's wrong with the boat, what I think the value is, things like that. And it's something different, and it's going to be blowing 50 later today, so there's no fishing, so it still beats sitting home doing nothing. Hope you enjoy. As always, if you do, hit that like button, and if you're not already a subscriber and you like this type of content, please hit that subscribe button. All right, I just drove by one. Of course, it's on the other side of the road. Looks like a Steiger inboard, outboard. Not a fan. I bet you that's a, yep, it is. It's a Volvo. I see the duo prop. Double, not a fan. But let's see the details. Looks like a 23 maybe. Let's check it out. All right, it is a 23. Okay, so 17.5 for the boat, 4,500 for the trailer. There's the phone number. There's a couple numbers here, 63147. So that's a Greenport exchange, 917-721-9028. That's a New York cell phone number. This zinc is pretty beat up. So I can tell it's a Volvo engine just by the duo prop. It is spinning. That's good. Transducer there. So this is a 23 Pilot House. All right, so you'd be all in at 22,000. Got the battery box there, engine there, little cabin. Man, I sold my 2006 Maycraft 23, similar boat to this, Pilot House, for 25,000, and it was 3 years old. Tells you how expensive boats have gotten. This would not be a bad boat. The trailer is actually, looks relatively new. Trailer might be worth $4,500. $17,500 for this boat. You know, I would normally say that's a little much, but in this day and age, it's probably not a bad deal. I don't even think we need to call the owner on this one because we got the price. Yeah, I mean, I think 3-4 years ago, this was a $12,000 boat with trailer, but not today, folks, not today. So these boats do have, it's a Steiger, they do have a lifetime warranty. So structurally, if anything does go wrong, you're covered. You can bring it back to the factory here in Long Island, Al Steiger. And, oh, and here's a good sign too. Romeo Diamond services this boat. Romeo is one of the top mobile mechanics in the area here. I would guess, you know, to me it's a little expensive, but if you're looking for a boat, you'll understand that you don't see many boats under sub 20,000, so maybe not that big a deal. It's like some of the paint is fading. Presuming this can all be buffed out. All right, good start, first boat. Let's see what else we can find. And I did get in touch with the owner, Jim. His number is 917-721-9028. If anybody wants to talk to him. Super nice guy. He's actually a Jigging Jerk subscriber. He recognized my voice. And the reason he's selling it, he's moving. Lifetime in New York. He's moving to Pennsylvania. He's retiring. And we had a great conversation about the boat. He's the second owner. The first owner was one of the main people at the New Suffolk Yacht Club, and it was mostly used as a spotter boat for their regattas, the little sailboat races that they have in Peconic Bay. He himself, Jim, only used it about 20 hours a year the entire time he owned the boat. It has a brand new outdrive, a rebuilt new outdrive, so a company that buys old Volvo outdrives and rebuilds them. The outdrive never gave him a problem until last year when it got winterized, or it didn't get winterized, and it had a bad seal, and unfortunately it cracked. But he used it all summer, no issues. He averaged about 20 hours a year on it. No hour meter on it, but he expects the hours to be low. Nothing wrong with the engine. Cruise speed is in the mid-20s. Sips fuel, as Volvos are known to do. Give Jim a call if you're interested in this. $17,500. I know I was poo-pooing the price a little originally when I looked at the boat, but given that Steiger gives you a lifetime warranty on the hull, it's not a bad price, especially with a new outdrive. You don't have to worry about that. That's the main thing that scared me about that boat. And the trailer is new. It's been used twice. He got it last year. He pulled the boat and put it back in this year. That's it. That's the only times it's been used.
All right, we're driving through Southold now, next town over from Greenport, just west of Greenport. A little surprised. Saw the one boat, the Steiger. I know there was a Pathfinder just east of us that does not appear to be there any longer. But I really thought we'd see a few more boats. We're coming up on an old school dealer here, Southold Marine. They're actually a Honda dealer, and he usually has customer boats in front of his shop for sale. I'm gonna slow down here. Might actually turn in and look. Oh, there's one. All right, good call, John. Let's drive in here. Oh, big privateer. Wow. Workboat. This is Mrs. Fantastic. Looks like she's got new power on her. Let's check it out.
And here she is, and she's enormous. Privateer, they're known as workboats. Very cult following. You could see the, I'm standing under it right now. I don't know if you can tell. It's got what this is known as flare. It's almost like an umbrella effect. It has a really sharp entry. I gotta guess this boat is 28 feet. But it's definitely a work boat. I don't know if you can tell on this side. We'll get closer. It looks like a crab boat or a lobster pot boat. Yeah, Belhaven, North Carolina, privateer. It is for sale. Looks like these look like 250s. It could be up there. Honda 250s. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a work boat if they have a ton of hours on them. 458-516-458-7192. Very utilitarian finish. 3-piece hull. So this piece here, you can see that that's a cap. Most boats, not most boats, boats come in 2-piece or 3-piece, and 3-piece boats are valued a little more because they let you get your knees up against or your thighs up against the gunnel. But yeah, clearly there's a pot hauler here. Very simple layout. I don't think there's any seats on this boat. Open layout. Yeah, I don't think it would cost that much to re-engineer this and make this a fishing boat. Add a couple bean bags and you can fish 6 guys on this easy. This is interesting. I wonder what the heck this is. Huh. Oh, this is protection maybe from the hull because the pots would be coming over here. Yeah, so I mean, clearly a workboat, but maybe you can get a deal on this because of that. Really nice trailer too, another low-bright trailer. Got the steps here if you want to step on board and look. It's a little slippery right now. It's pretty cold here. Not kill myself doing this. Let's take a look inside, get a better idea of the layout. Yeah, you can see just wide open. And Hondas get a bad rap because they're boring. They haven't had much advancement, but I've owned 3 pairs and they are super reliable. And if you want to say boring, you can say boring. And you can even see it's got that's very utilitarian floor. No non-skid on this. This will be super easy to clean. Non-skid is great for not slipping, but as somebody who owns a non-skid boat, it's not so much fun to clean. And again, I'm going to try not to kill myself stepping off this. Okay. All right, this is an interesting one. I wonder, this one I couldn't even guess the price. I'm guessing this is an 80s vintage boat. And the other knock on these boats, they're dead rise, which is the V in the back, the angle of the V. My boat is at 25 degree, which is I think as sharp as they come. Contenders are 24.5. This looks like it's closer to 12 or 14, meaning if you're in really rough seas, it's less of a knife in the back, and you tend to pound a little more. Now you can combat that with trim tabs, which this boat doesn't appear to have, so forget the trim tabs, but you can combat that by going slower and burying the bow. Interesting boat. I'm really curious. I'm going to call this one, what the price is, how many hours on these Hondas, what year they are. Yeah, all right, let's keep going.
And oh boy, did I get the description wrong on this one. I think the only thing I got right is that it's a privateer. It's a 2017 privateer, not a mid-80s vintage privateer. So you're basically getting a 3-year-old boat, 28.5 feet. So I had the 28-foot part right. Length is 28.5. Beam is 10.5. There's 450 hours on the 250 Honda, same vintage year, 2017. I spoke to the owner, Mike. No issues with the boat. It was used as a work boat. That metal piece I mentioned, it's actually a fiberglass piece. It comes off if you want to use it, or you can keep it on at this point. I don't know. Price is $79K. Yeah, it's a utilitarian boat, but a huge boat like this, a 28.5-foot boat, 10.5-foot beam, almost new. I can't imagine you will find one for that price. And it's priced that way because it is basically, there's no T-top, there's no index storage. There's really just a little bit of room in the bow and some room in the console for storage. You would need to add bean bags or put in some seating. You could buy a leaning post, bolt it in. It's a really good platform to start building a boat. You've got the hull and the engines. That's the most expensive part of any boat purchase. And if you don't care about creature comforts that much, you can be all in, including trailer, for under $80,000. If you're interested in the boat, give Mike a call. I'll put his number on the screen right here. Really nice guy. He's motivated to sell. And again, not many 3-year-old boats are going to be selling. 3-year-old 28-foot boats with 500 horsepower and 450 hours and a trailer are going to be selling for under $80,000. This one is.
All right, we had a police officer behind us, and I didn't want to make a U-turn, and I didn't have the camera on. We passed. There's a fiber. We're in Cutchogue now. A couple towns over, you got Peconic, and then you have Cutchogue, and you have a fiberglass shop. A pretty famous one, at least here on the North Fork, Chuck's Fiberglass. And they had a boat with a for sale sign on their property, so we'll check it out. It's about a half mile up the road. Come back when we're there. All right, here it is. This looks a little old. All right, we'll check it out. See what the story is. And I'm wrong. It's not Chuck's. It's Ted's Auto Body. I don't know why I thought it was Chuck's. Hey, it was a guy's first name, and some kind of mechanical. So this looks like an, I don't know. Oh, here we are. Oh, it's a Donzi 11,500 low hours. It's a 92 Donzi 723. There's the cell phone if anybody wants to call. It's 917-692-5935. I'll call the owner to see what the story is. So F23, I have a feeling this is the Formula hull, which is a legendary riding hull. This is, I'm gonna butcher this, I think it's Don Aronow. This is the hull that the early Sea Crafts were. Some of the really like best known. It is Chuck's, my bad. There's the sign, Chuck's Fiberglass. Okay, I was right. This hull is legendary for its ride, and it's got a bracket, and it's got a weird bracket. It's a single engine bracket. I wonder, this is an old carb 2-stroke, that would be a negative. Man, I wonder if this was originally a C drive. I wonder. I would not be shocked. But you do have a full enclosed transom, which is a plus. You're out in a steep following sea. You have some protection. Looks like a decent isinglass enclosure. It gives it a little pilot house effect. And it's gonna be a little difficult to get up. It's a little slippery. It's 30-something degrees. A little live well here. Yeah, this one has potential, even though that, oh God, this is a V8. Oh, this, a VRO V8. VRO is the oil system that OMC came up with, where you didn't have to pre-mix. Known for their failures, most people pre-mix at this point. That's a question I'll ask the owner when I call about this boat, if he's pre-mixing or whether the the oil injection is still working. But this is a big V8, and if you go on YouTube, you'll actually find some folks that have taken these old Johnson Merc. Look, it even has functional air vents to cool this thing off. These are known for power. I think these were the first 300 horsepower engines, but they were also notoriously known for breaking down. You do have the bracket though. This would be a perfect repower option, but 11.5, I wonder if that includes the trailer. We'll ask that question too. I mean 11.5, but if you're
if you have to repower eventually, you know, put another 300 on this, that's, you know, another 23 grand, 25 grand with rigging and installation, unless you find a nice used one. But this is an interesting engine. This again, go on YouTube and you'll see some guys have taken these engines and put them in cars, and the sound is ridiculous. Maybe I'll include a link. To one of them in the description. But if this is a Formula 23 hull, which F23, I bet you that stands for Formula 23, this boat would be a fantastic riding boat. Not a fan of these plastic scuppers. I prefer bronze, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, it does have a deeper V than the other one. And Donzi, they were racing boats. Even their fishing boats like this were known for performance, and so it doesn't shock me that it has this big fast V8 on it. But the 11.5 as is, says low hours. We'll talk to the owner, we'll get more details. It'll have a nice little cuddy cabin. If you have little kids, you can escape from the cold or the weather or the heat or whatever. You can take a nap, you can fish. All right, I think we'll stop here. 3 boats. Let's see what the story is on these, and can you find a bargain basically picking off the side of the road. And this one was the North Fork of Long Island, a little less than 10-mile stretch. I found 3 boats.
And I did hear from the owner, Rula and Spiro, some Greek folks. They'd never heard of me, though. So -1 for that, but really nice people. And the backstory on this boat, it was bought a number of years ago from a doctor in Delaware. They trailered it back to Greenport, and then they started going to Greece in the summers. And the last 7 years until this year, it didn't get used. It was covered in their yard. They used it this year all summer. That engine is that old carbed V8. No issues with it, they say. 276 hours on the engine. It's either, I said 300, but doing some research, it's either a 250 or a 300. That's the, that's the horsepower rating on those old Johnson V8s. The trailer is included. 11.5, if this boat checks out, is actually a really good price, even if you had to repower down the line, because the reviews on this boat, I did some digging. If you Google this boat, Donzi F23, and read some of the threads on the Hull Truth, the owners love them. They rave about the ride. It's a battle tank. Great reviews. Did not read anything negative about it. So for 11.5, this would be a really good deal. Let me know what you think of these videos. This was something different. Remember, I am not a surveyor. I love boats. I know a little bit about boats. But if you were interested in any of these boats, I would strongly recommend you hire a surveyor and possibly a mechanic. Usually the two are not connected. A surveyor won't, they'll sea trial the boat, but they won't look at the engine. They won't do diagnostics, at least on the engine. I would strongly recommend you do that. I am not getting paid by any of these folks. They were a little surprised I was even doing this. I explained to them it's something different. It's content. It's something I like. Hopefully you found it interesting. As always, if you do, please hit that like button. And if you're not already a subscriber and you like this type of content, please hit that subscribe button.